about this time.
Legacy.
Strap yourselves in.
Legacy.
Let's take you on this ride with Nexxlegacy.
Go.
We a radio station for the people,
Right here for you people.
providing hella heat.
Let's go get it.
Let's get to it. Nexxlegacy Radio, we're coming through your room. Interviews on deck with guests listening to. Hashtag and imagine if it was you. What's happening? We packing with people coming through. How about you? Lace it up, we ready, providing hella heat. Turned up, we racing to it. Track meet. Y'all ready for this journey of a lifetime? This Nexxlegacy agent just like fine wine. Tune in.
Every day.
Nexxlegacy.com. Getting you ready for this interview. Let's get to it.
Radio station for the people.
Yeah. We got hella heat. We got hella heat.
Let's go.
Yeah. Perfect. This is Charles, iamBranded, Madison, alongside Danielle, Denia Azure Carroll, and we have a beautiful guest who's hanging out with us to talk sports and other things. And I feel like there's a storm coming, just mainly because the Nevada storm has taken over the sports airways through Nexxlegacy Radio, and I love it, love it. And I have Lord Zander with us on Nexxlegacy Sports. How's it going, sweetheart?
Oh, it's going great. It's good. I just got done stretching, trying to do my recovery, trying to.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yep.
Recovery. Is it recovery, bad recovery? Like it's going to take you a minute or just?
No,
Nah?
it's just day to day, like recovery, just trying to make sure that, I can still get up and work out the next day.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Preemptive.
Premeditated recovery. I like that.
Yeah. Prehab.
Like,
yeah.
There you go.
Yep.
There
Doing
you
lots
go.
of prehab. Yeah. Getting prepared
You know
to
what?
get hit.
I haven't heard that term used though. Prehab.
Yeah.
Have you?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's a big one. Yeah.
Okay. So I was gonna say you might as well coin that phrase and let's copyright that thing because
exactly
not out there as much as it should be though.
Yeah, good point. Maybe we can get a quarter for every time somebody says
it. There
right.
you go.
Yes.
There
you heard it here first.
That's right. That's right. So Laura, as I think about just as I'm getting to know the Women's Football League, clearly I'm extremely intrigued and I'm looking forward to this season. I'm looking forward to being able to go out there, meet you in person, watch you perform, probably do pre and post game interviews. I'm just a visionary, so I'm thinking about all these things, right? So I'm want to get to the beginning, and I've asked a lot of the athletes in this league this question to start off because I feel like the listeners need to know. So when did your love affair with football begin?
Love affair is a strong phrase. I mean, I don't know. I think it's just part of my DNA. I don't know that there's even a love affair. I mean, I just, from the time I was a little like rat kid, in the apartment complex, I mean, we always had like a little spot in between the two buildings that we just tackled each other. So I think it's more a love affair with tackling people, and I guess. And so now it's just part of life. That's just what you do. You try not to do it at the grocery store. You try not to do it in public places if people haven't opted in. But yeah. So I don't know. I mean, it's just always been, it's like basketball. I grew up playing basketball and you grew up playing football. I mean, that's just what you do. It's just part of life.
Laura, you can't chase down anybody on aisle 4. That's just not going to work, right?
You can once. You can do it once. Yeah.
But
only on Black Friday.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. You just make sure and wear your pads.
There you go. Exactly. Exactly. Now the cool
Yep.
thing about this league is I'm finding the more that I talk to you all, not just with the Nevada Storm, but with other teams out in the cities, states, or whatnot. The more I'm finding it that everyone is so invested in the progression of this league. And when you first joined the league, what was your initial reaction, your thoughts? Did you see the growth potential, I guess I should say?
100%. Like you said, like the visionary side of me kicked in, and I actually, living in Reno, I have some friends that are female business owners, and they're athletes, a lot of excellent college athletes. And I'm immediately calling and I'm like, did you guys have any idea that there's this two-time national women's tackle football team in town? Like we could blow this up, especially where we live. We're in Reno/Tahoe, so there are a ton of athletes. I mean, a lot of us moved there. I moved there from San Francisco so that we could be in the mountains, so that we could play sports, whether it's mountain biking or skiing or running or, football, of course. So yeah, I mean, there is so much potential for this. And there are so many girls out there that want to play, that want to tackle people in a safe place and a socially acceptable environment. Yep. We've all watched Wonder Woman and we're ready,
Laura just has a tackling, just an itch. Like, are you willing to tackle somebody right now at this moment, Laura? I feel
100%. Yeah. I have a 13-year-old kid and I'm constantly I'm like, bring it. Come on. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah. So that's what we do.
I love it. Yeah. Danielle, go ahead.
Until somebody gets hurt and then one of us cries and screams and then, then we do it again.
I love it.
So you mentioned that you used to play rugby. So what have been the biggest differences between rugby and football? I've heard I've heard a lot of girls that come from, that have gotten into women's football have started out in rugby.
The biggest shocker for me was how much you have to learn, like how much you have to memorize. And that, if the ball drops, like you can't catch a bounce pass, I mean that once the ball bounces. So I'm still so used to if somebody throws the ball and it bounces right in front of me, I still want to grab it and go. And apparently the play is down. But and I just cannot get over how much there is to memorize, how many offensive plays, how many defensive plays. So for me, that big difference is the play stops, you reset, you reevaluate everything as opposed to just kind of go and, fly off. So it's been very humbling, and taxing on the brain. Like I'm sleeping more than I've ever slept because my brain is constantly regenerating cells, I think, from, this overexposure of information. So whoever says that, football guys are just dumb jocks is ridiculous. I mean, I think they must be the smartest guys out there to have to remember all this stuff. So yeah, so that's the big one, I think. That and then the pads, I mean, it's so much more freeing to play rugby and you just have nothing on. So you get to run a little faster, you can stick your fingers in there and, really get in other people's muscles. Yeah.
I mean, I've never played rugby. I've only seen it on occasion, and you're 1,000% right. I mean, the pads clearly will slow anybody down. I don't care if you're super fast or moderate to not fast at all. You're going to slow you. But rugby's different. It's just different. It's still violent, but it's still cool though. Like it is cool. And you mentioned something about just the football aspect. The play's over. American football is more like chess pieces, right? You kind of have to maneuver or move certain things in a different direction. Okay, well, we're going to call a timeout because I don't like the way this looks, or something to that effect. And clearly, from what you're saying, your mind is moving so fast. So how have you been able to adjust?
For me, I mean, I'm just studying, studying a lot and trying to learn. Well, one, reading Football for Dummies by Howie Long, like over and over and over again, and trying to
Good book,
really
though.
understand. It's a great book. Yeah. And reading other, like I just read, The Education of a Coach, the Bill Belichick book. And, I'm moving on to like Vince Lombardi and just trying to really understand the verbiage and kind of the high level goals, of what the different defenses do and, how to set all those things up. But really just studying. I mean, I don't know what else to do except for study and kind of use some mnemonic devices in the beginning. I mean, I think everybody at practice thinks I'm crazy because I talk out loud all the time. I'm like, okay, so smoke here, bubble here, smoke, do we do this, we do that, we do this, we do that. And they're like, you're not supposed to say it out loud. I'm like, yeah, but right now I have to say it out loud so that it imprints on my brain so that, at some point in the future, it just will come very naturally that you understand, what an out is and what a hook is and what a slant is. And, I mean, things that when you played backyard, neighborhood football, you just drew stuff on your hand, right? So it was never a play that was much bigger than what could be on your hand or maybe in the dirt. It wasn't that complicated. And, everybody didn't do all these different kinds of things. So it's like you said, the chess and the orchestra part of it, and the other part that the coaches have really stressed is just focus on my position for right now.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have to worry about, and I don't have to remember what the other 10 people are doing. Just, memorize my part, and then I can gradually layer on, what the girl next to me is doing and what the girl next to me is doing and, all those things. So, and just being patient, with myself and recognizing that it's going to take some time.
Hey, Laura, you said something that brought back a ton of memories. As a young lad playing football, either in a field or in the streets. When you brought this hand up, and you're literally like, you go here.
Yep.
You make a slant. You just slant it right there. Or you go through here, and you make a curl, or whatever the case may be. Or let me tell you this. I don't know if you remember this or not, but especially if you were playing in the streets, you saw a red Chevy.
Yep.
I knew where you were going. The red Chevy. There you go.
Yep. But don't go to the blue one because that guy's an asshole. And you don't want to hit his car. He's gonna get all pissed off at you.
That's it. Yeah. Oh my God, those are memories you can never take away. So did you have that same kind of feeling with not just this sport but rugby as well?
A little less because when I played rugby, I started in college, so it was a little more civilized, I guess.
Got you.
It was a little less ragamuffin than growing up as a kid with no parents around to tell us we're not supposed to punch each other in the face. So yeah. And, and then you have a coach. So it's a lot different as well when you have an adult there who's kind of telling you the overarching goals and, what everybody should do versus, just one of the kids and us all, I want to be quarterback. No, I want to be quarterback, which is an experience in and of its own. But yeah. Love the red Chevy. Yeah,
it's beautiful.
Ours is more like a blue Pinto, but
Come on, we've had those. We had the tan ones, and we had the Toyota Corollas with the hatchback. You just go to the
Ford Escort. I was waiting for the Ford Escort. Yeah.
Oh, memories. So many memories.
You know what? Those were the days before, at least, for my generation, those were the days before the automatic, like the security signals. So it didn't matter if you hit the car, it just was a thunk, it didn't like beep, beep, beep.
Nah, you just kept moving. You kept moving. And,
totally.
Listen,
me.
I've dented many of cars in my lifetime and we just kind of kept moving. So,
yeah.
It happens.
Yep.
The position you are currently playing for the Nevada Storm is?
Wide receiver on offense and then corner on defense.
So I take it that by those two positions that you're playing that you have pretty good hands, right?
I guess. Yeah. I mean, they catch things. So most of the time.
And also, I
Yeah.
take it that you seem to have some exceptional speed, because to play those two positions, you kind of need to have it.
Yeah, I was pretty quick. Yeah. I mean, I
Okay.
guess I'm relatively quick. I'm one of the quicker girls, for sure. I ran track, as well in high school and college. So, so I don't have that crazy explosive speed that some of the girls have, in that first 30 or 40. I was more like a hurdler, 100, 200, 400. So I can go the distance.
Laura, you have deceptive speed. That's what it is. Don't let anybody tell you different.
Yeah. Well, and especially, I mean, when I played rugby, I played fullback. So the magic combination was the speed and the force, then when you hit somebody. So if you can get that, it didn't really matter that you weren't as big as some of the other girls, because physics like takes care of a lot of it for you.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Real quick before Denai asks a question, with the corner and wide receiver, clearly there's opportunities, or you've had them in your career so far, where you just really have to, the play, you have to rely on instinct more as a wide receiver than a corner. Corner, you're just trying to cover the best receiver, or you're going to have instinct because you might have to jump a route and, pick a ball off or bat the ball or whatever. So instincts, those little intangibles, is super key. So tell me a little bit about your style of play. Are you more, do you lull some of these people to sleep and then just you're just going to go ahead? Or am I talking too much, and the team that's probably going to wind up listening to this maybe we should just not even say anything about it at all, right? Maybe. I don't know. You tell me.
Well, it's a great question, but I'm a rookie, so I haven't played a game in this league with pads on yet.
Okay.
So my experience, right, is playing basketball, and then and obviously playing rugby and stuff. So I'm kind of interested to see how it really I'm fascinated to see how it plays out. When I played basketball, I was a defensive player. Like that was, that's really where I shone, and anticipating where the ball was going to go. And I always went on the girl that was going to score the most, and the goal was to shut her out, so instinct was a huge part of it. Instinct, and then being able to see the whole field, and really be able to kind of process like peripherally, like everything that's going on at the same time. And then, like you said, instinct or anticipation, or whether it's like really fast Sherlock Holmes, I'm not sure, whatever that mechanism is, but being able to kind of guess, what's going to happen next, reading cues. I mean, that's the fun part. So that's really like my favorite part, because it's so deductive, really trying to read body language and see what's going on. And then on the offensive side, as well, but more on the defensive side. Like that's where I'm really stoked. I think that's going to be really cool.
For sure.
Yeah. There's nothing, in some ways, the evil scientist part of me thinks there's nothing more fun than ruining somebody's day by like raking the ball out.
Listen, I'm with you 1,000%. Let's go. Let's do it. You
right?
do that when you go to road games anyways. Everybody that's on the road will be depressed by the time you're done. And that's okay. It brings a smile on your face. Everybody's happy in your circle.
Yeah.
Not them. But
yeah,
that's
exactly.
All right.
And it makes the other team better, right? So yes. I'm actually contributing to the sport, because it's elevating and it's making everybody better at their own game. And I'm sure I'm going to get just as schooled as, and I'm sure I'll get raped and all that stuff too, which is great. And that's the fun part. Like, that's why we play. We play because we're consistently progressing and constantly getting better and constantly being challenged and seeing how far we can take our own bodies and how far we can take ourselves. Right?
I can't wait to see you play. This is going to be fun. This is going to be a fun season.
Yeah.
Danielle, go ahead.
Where do you see women's football going in the next 5 years?
Oh, that's a great question. In our rookie orientation, we had a taped presentation of the president. I think it was the president or the CEO of the organization of the WFA. And she's like spot on. I mean, again, visionary. There's so far that we could take this. And with all the work that, women's soccer has done and other women's sports out there to really put women's sports, make them top of mind, and put them out there, I think that there is a ton of potential for us to start having more and more, even in, increasing the number of girls that are playing flag football. Like my son, he's in 8th grade. He'll play tackle next year, but he's been playing flag up to now. And I want to see more girls out there. And so I think that if we can take like a great, if we can really tell the story well, and invite girls, and maybe we don't talk a ton about punching other people in the face and stuff, but if we can talk about how this is really driving your competitive spirit, how it's really, I think the cerebral part of it is incredible, and how much you have to memorize and the chess side of it. And I think that's something that's not talked about enough. I certainly didn't realize that it was as intellectually intense as it really is. So I think that there's tons of potential for us to start to make this more mainstream, and really elevate it. And who doesn't want to see a bunch of like women play football? Like, who doesn't? My husband's the one who, he saw that this team was in town and he's like, dude, you've got to play. Like, this is so up your alley. Like, please, like, we want you to play. And I wanted, my son is 13 and he's about to start playing tackle. And so we're like, this is something we could experience together. We'll both be on the football team. How cool is that?
That would be
right.
Great.
How awesome is that? What do you think is the biggest misconception when it comes to women playing sports?
Oh. Maybe just that they don't want to, or that they don't have time, or it's not a priority. I happen to work in a place that's primarily women, and most of them, I guess a lot of the women just don't think they can. Like they almost don't think it's allowed, so normalizing women in sports and making people realize that, I don't know, women are just as tough. Again, Wonder Woman, like, let's just all watch Wonder Woman again.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, and Laura, I look at it, especially from a male's perspective. Again, it goes back to what I can speak freely on as far as the passion that I have for sports. Listen, include everybody. Let everybody play the thing that they love to play and who they want to be a part of, and building certain things. My daughter plays tennis, at a pretty good level, and she's amazing at what she does. I'm not saying it because that's my child. I just think that it is great camaraderie to see people, doesn't matter, male, female, whatever, play together, win together, lose together, experience that whole process together. And it's cool that the WFA is at a point where we are seeing some ascension, right? It's great to see. It's great to experience, but also from a male's perspective, I feel like women should play whatever it is they want to play at whatever level they want to play and have fun.
100%.
Same thing with journalism. Women journalists, bring more. Let's go. Let's do it at a level where they can be able to explain sports in detail, and we can have a conversation like this, which is great energy. So you can't go wrong when you're put in a position like this. And I'm just glad the Women's Football League is doing this at a level that's going to continue to grow. Your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely. Same page. One of the things, so, in my professional life, one of the things that I've really noticed is that over the years, and I didn't realize this until later, that, people have said, well, you're really confident or whatever. And I'm like, I'm not confident. I just, when it comes to doing business with, with an older white male, with an ohm, it's not that I'm confident. It's just that I know that I could kick his ass playing basketball. And so,
Hey,
and to me, it all comes down to sports. It's like, I know that if I build these skills, whether it's football or it's basketball or it's running or whatever, it gives you another layer of yourself, it just gives you something else that you feel like you're good at, and that perhaps, if you're in a boardroom or you're wherever, or you're at work, I mean, sometimes you have to dig deep and just be like, well, you know what? Let's just take it out on the court, and let's really see. And I don't know. I mean, it's done wonders for me. Again, in retrospect, I didn't realize this is what it was, but it meant that for years and years and years, when it came to doing business with other guys, I was never intimidated. And I never understood why I wasn't intimidated until stuff like football comes up. And I'm like, well, come on, let's go.
yeah,
I mean, if you're all that, let's take it out on the field.
let's do it.
Yeah. And so
Love it.
I wish that more girls and more women, especially, like I said, I work around a lot of women that just don't have that confidence. They don't have that background. And I think if they had that, and we, again, normalized it a little bit more, that they would be more willing to speak up. They would, being coached is something that I think is really missing for a lot of people. They don't know how to be coached. You take everything personally and you take the feedback negatively and blah, 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 as opposed to, oh, I just need to turn my foot 2 inches to the right. Got it. Let's move on. It doesn't mean I'm a bad person.
Right.
Just because my foot wasn't 2 inches to the right, it just means I need to move my damn foot 2 inches to the right. And so if we can get that into the mainstream as well, and kind of toughen us up, and I think it's good for all of us.
See, Laura, I think that as I'm getting more mature, I never want to say older, as I'm getting more mature, I am still understanding that when it comes to communication, there also has to be comprehension as well when it comes down to it. It's like that in professional life. It's like that personally. I'm learning that I want to get my point across to you, but when you get your point across to me, I need to listen and pay attention to really what you're saying and how this impacts you so I can understand more clear.
Right.
Bringing in the comprehension part, because I have to really comprehend what really matters while you're in the middle of conversating. And to me, that's life lessons as you go through it, not just sports.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. It totally translates to that.
See?
Yeah.
Dr. Laura Zander with all the information on Nexxlegacy Sports. So, Danielle, one more question before we let this young lady go.
What do you think makes the Nevada Storm stand out?
Ooh.
Oh.
Whoa.
Well, they're just, I mean, the women that are on this team are so tough, but amazing. Like, it's the best team that I've ever been part of. I mean, it's diverse, right? In terms of background, and, you've got nurses and you've got personal trainers and, all kinds of different, again, like intellectual capabilities. And so everybody's bringing something different. Everybody's got like a different kind of past that they're bringing to the table. We've got this great diversity in terms of size and speed and skills and, line. Everybody's willing to try new things. It's just, I mean, it's the West Coast, right? So it's open-minded, it's athletic, it's rugged, but there's a ton of heart, and a ton of drive. I mean, this is a team that won back-to-back national championships in 2 different divisions. And I think nobody's ever done that before. So that's what separates them, right? Is the ability to move up a level and continue to excel. And that's what we're looking for this year. And that's why I was so excited to be part of this, because I'm like, we're going to win a damn national championship, right? We need to go for 3.
There you go.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
NevadaStormFootball.com is the website. Get to know the Nevada Storm. Season's coming April. Looking forward to it. Laura, any final shout outs you would like to have before we let you go into parts unknown?
Just to my teammates. I mean, they're one of the other reasons I'm so stoked to play is, I mean, we've got, and Sarah, you talked to Sarah the other night, Mo, Chris as a coach, you know, there's C-Mac, and like these women are freaking phenomenal. And every day I go out there and I just want to be better, and I want to be better, and I want to jump as far as her, and I want to run as fast as her, and I want to throw as well as she does and catch as well as she does. And so just that competitiveness and the pure raw talent of the women that are part of this team are, it's just amazing. So shout out.
There you go. And I can't thank you enough for just spending some time with us. And it's just like I'm telling, not just the league in itself, not just Nexxlegacy Sports covering the league at a high level, hopefully. And we'll be, like I said before, going to live events, covering your games, pre and post game interviews. We're trying to do it up big to the point where the world outside of wherever you are, they can't deny us. They have to let us in.
Exactly.
Mainstream, we love you, mainstream, but this is the core. This is the way it's going to be when it comes to just enthusiasm, energetic, authentic, passionate about the accomplishments and the competitiveness that not just the ladies have, but also, listen, on a journalist level. No, we're going to be. You guys are going to keep looking for us. They can have fun all they want to, but I might have to go to aisle 4 and tackle some other journalists too as we go through as well. So
I say we make this the next UFC. It's the next UFC. We just need a Dana White. You could be Joe Rogan. You know, maybe
watch out.
You know,
watch out.
Yeah. Hey,
Laura,
move over.
I
UFC.
appreciate it. Much success. This is your rookie campaign, so I'm wanting to see rookie of the year type levels on both offense and defense. I'm rooting for you because, you know, I just want to see you play now. I just want to see you tackle too. So
Me too.
Laura, I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time.
You got it. You got it. We'll be in touch.
All right. Bye.
Take care. That is Laura Zander of the Nevada Storm. Oh, she's going to be a good one. I can't wait.